I'm not gonna lie. I'm sleepy. It's been a day, like kind of productive, super productive at the beginning, actually. A lot of tears. Um, yeah, lot of tears. God, oh man, lot of bit of stinking pain, and an ungodly amount of reading. Nah, not even an ungodly amount. Like the normal amount that I should have done earlier in the week. But hey, shout out to ADHD, baby. But excuses are tools of the incompetent. They build bridges that lead to nowhere and monuments of nothingness. Shout out OBZ for that one. And I would like to welcome you to the Intelligent Idiots podcast. I am your host, Mr. Always on 10, and I now officially have contacts. But as you can see, I'm not wearing them because they were a bitch to put in and a bitch and a half. 2.1 bitches. Spider-Man 2.1. 2.1 bitches to take out. Ooh, just crazy. So yeah, if you got tips on putting in and taking out contacts, just drop a comment down below. And if you want to see me ramble even more, or just read more stories, because that's what you're here for, me reading Reddit stories to you, subscribe to the Patreon. Every single episode I put out has an additional two episodes. No, wait, not y'all. Me. Fuck me. Additional two episodes. Episodes? No, stories. Yeah. Do I know how words work? No, not really. I'm American. But yeah, subscribe to the Patreon. Every single episode I put out is over on Patreon exclusively with extended content, right? 2 extra stories. So we bang out 6 normally, we got 2 extra. So yeah, let's do this. We're over in the r/2x chromosomes subreddit with a post by Fanciful Cats. They have a vent. Tired of male friend being entitled to a wife and kids. One of my, now previous, male friends was going through this phase where he lamented that he can't find a girlfriend and wants a wife and kids. It was so bad, he was chronically liking self-pitying IG posts about settling for a bachelor life forever and being lonely without a wife. Oh my God. I tried to console him, but as I dug deeper, I realized what he wanted was a woman who had zero self-respect or standards for her lifestyle. I discussed casually that there was a guy into me I chatted with for a few months online and video calls, but he was from another country, and I wasn't vibing enough yet for... Vibing enough yet for make him a top dating... Do I just want to do the whole thing over again? No. Cut that out. Cut that out. I discussed casually there was a guy into me I've chatted with for a few months online and via video calls, but he was from another country and I wasn't vibing enough yet to make him a top dating choice. He invited me out on a date to his country. This would involve a 9-hour flight. Let's put the obvious danger aside of traveling this far and trafficking risk out of the way for a second, I said to my friend, there's no way I travel that far unless he pays for the flight and hotel and potentially compensate me for some of the 2 weeks I would be foregoing my salary at work. He replied, ugh, you are so fucking high maintenance. You need to pay all of it because he put in effort to organize it. I was astonished. I said, why should I be thousands of dollars short for a guy that literally asked me to go where he is? He then proceeded to call me a female Andrew Tate. How? I realized that in his past, his failed relationships were because his exes became sick of caring for this man child who would coerce and guilt trip them into staying home on cheap date evenings, even asking them to massage his back, clean his place, or just stay home when they wanted to explore outside in the beautiful sun. He dated one for many years and she left because he wasn't moving the relationship forward for marriage. He blamed her for leaving because it was going to happen eventually and she should have waited. What a bitch to leave me when I'm struggling at this time. Bruh. She waited 7 years. Ooh. There was never going to be a time because you were just sucking her energy for your benefit. He even called one of his exes fat to her face to nag her on her birthday. He's now scared he's going to die alone without a wife and is blaming women for refusing to do 50-50 and generally having standards above what he can offer. I tried to explain that women in this day and age have their own assets, even homes. We really value our peace and time, and if we wanted to do 50-50, we could go on a date with our girlfriends. It was not getting through. This 35-year-old man has no savings because he dumps his money on smokes, expensive takeouts, and impulse purchases. That last part is me. He once gaslit me about the abuse I received from a guy and told me I shouldn't report it to the police because that shows I'm just seeking revenge. He wants a woman this skinny and in shape, very specific about her skin tone, color, and thigh size. I lost my temper and said, how do you expect to even run a family with this attitude? You expect a woman to cater to you hand and foot. You invalidate requests and experiences. You harass them to split the bill or pay all despite asking them out. You demand that your girlfriends on a holiday clean your house. You seriously think a woman will stay and wreck her body in pregnancy to give you a family whilst taking care of your health that you refuse to manage? He's very overweight. You need to invest proper energy, money, and time in a lady if you want to have a wife. Deal with it. She has the capacity to create life and a home for you. Stop being selfish. Yeah, we don't talk anymore. I really had to distance myself from men like this, even as a friendship point, because their negative, whiny energy about dating women irritates me and brings my mood down. Sorry if this post is everywhere. I was kind of piggybacking off the other post about womb envy and remembered this experience. I think he was bitter that women have the upper hand in dating because we control creation of life and family. Oh, snap. You guys, I forgot to tell you. This episode is all about entitlement. I had a theme going in my notes that I kind of like super expanded. My process is I go through Reddit and I just simply type in my theme, right? Keywords, search engine optimization, and all that good stuff. And this episode was going to be entitled, nasty, and narcissistic, I believe. Right? Working title. But that was the theme. So I'll type it in entitled. I went on my search and I have open 40 different tabs. Remember how there's supposed to be like eight stories? I picked out 8 and I still have 40 tabs open. I think this might be more than 40 actually. I'll put it, I'll editor me, I'll insert it. I'll insert how many tabs I have open. I'll count them with my eyeballs and I'll insert them. And that's not even counting the stories that I exited out of because I was like, ugh, this sucks. Doesn't fit the theme. Save for later. This would fit better over here. Ooh, I like this. Save for later. Read the story. Was kind of cool, but didn't care. Right, I had one of those. It like fit the theme, but I was like, Sometimes stories fit the themes, but I'm just like, eh. So, yeah, we're doing entitled today. Entitled people, entitled situations. I'm not sure exactly how I'll name it, but you know, me lazy. Whatever's the theme will be the title. Will also be on the thumbnail. Yeah, because I'm not Mr. Beast using AI for my thumbnails. So you'll just see my pretty face. Wait, is this gonna be the thumbnail? Wait, hold on. Yeah, that's my classic pose. That's my Mr. Always on 10 pose right there. Tongue out, wink with the everything A-OK sign. For all the people listening on the podcast, yeah, that's what I just did. I stuck my tongue out at the camera. Wait, is my tongue dirty? I don't know. I should have looked at that. All right, top comment, because I'm a weirdo. Red Wop, God Jesus, with 307 upvotes. Red Robin 101 comments. For centuries, marriage and childbirth / raising a family were the only path forward for women. Men got very comfortable with being guaranteed a wife and family. And now that women are finally getting more options rather than rise to meet those changing standards, they'd rather get mad instead or seek to strip women of their rights again. Glad you removed that cancer from your life and hope you can find more supportive people instead. And this is like super spot on. I don't know if we've like reached a point where evolution like kind of comes into play, but centuries is pretty spot on. Even for people who, my ancestors, African Americans, or just black people in the diaspora who were ripped from their homes, brought over to new countries, forced to work, right? You still have this Eurocentric patriarchal setup that they inherited. What's the word I want to look for? What do children do? They see it and then they do it. You know the word I'm looking for. I'm sleepy. I took too much medicine. My eyes hurt. It's really not my eyes. It's my bottom eyelid. Oh, it's like raw. You know, you gotta like pull your eyelid down. To put the contact in, that hurt. Yeah. Again, if you got some cheat codes to put in contacts in, tell me, please. Leave a comment. Don't even comment about the story. Help your boy out. If you came for the Reddit story, just be a nice person. Pretty please. I'm the man. You gotta help the man out when the man is asking. No, let me stop. But back to it. So I'm like super deep in this like science, not the maths, but politics and just things that I vibe with. So when you talk to your boy, when you listen to me, when you hear me, I sound a little crazy, right? I am Mr. Always on 10. Everything I do is always on 10. But there's levels to it, right? From 1 to 20. Anything past 10, somebody's getting hurt or dying. 20. Shit, I hit the red button, baby. Everybody gone. Rest in peace. We leaving the planet to the roaches. And 1, I'm just asleep. So, wait, where am I going with this? Sorry. Oh, yeah. Me feminist. Me equal to all women. Me man. Man, woman equal. Unga bunga. This math good. Science good. Biology good. 99.99999% same as all women. Anything less? Well, shit, I might as well be a fucking cow. What's the percentage? 99.7? 97%? Genetically, we're that fucking similar to cows and pigs and of course monkeys, right? Because we're in the ape family. We're in that genus somewhere higher up the scale, right? I forget how the branches work, but yeah. So I see this inequality, this inequity, and here we are from the 20s to the 60s, specifically in America, So for my people overseas, when your women got the rights to vote, to own property, to have their own credit, to have everything be in their names, right? To go to college, right? And when it generally became illegal to do all the basic discrimination that they still kind of experience today. So from the 20s to the 60s to the 70s to did anything happen in the 90s? Yeah, we lost all of we lost all of our manufacturing. Um, so yeah, from like 18% of women in the workforce to nearly 70% today, not including those who work gig jobs and who have put in 2,000 applications to companies that will not accept them because they're using AI to go through all the applications because they're garbage. Companies. Wait, I'm so off track. So we have really just like two generations. If I discount Gen Z, because some are still kids and some are adults. Well, actually, a lot are adults. Because I'm a millennial. Gen Y. Why the fuck did you do this to us boomers? Why the fuck did you not rise up and take everything from your parents, Gen X? Why the fuck did you destroy the world for us? So Gen Z being 30, 29, and below, I want to say to like their teens. Oof, my. I'm old. I'm old. I'm 31. I'm like the last year ish, right? Because they're not spot on with the generations of millennials. And you have my parents' generations, which they are the middle, high middle of Gen X and the last of the boomers for my mother. So my mom was literally a teenager when she got all the rights that she has now that are being taken away, of course. And my father was just a couple years old for that same time frame because my mom was robbing the cradle. All right, she got damn near a decade on my dad. So we have this situation now where we have the internet and media was not created equal for men and women for them to consume. So we have decades, I would say, of talk shows, magazines, radio shows, and podcasts that have shaped the media that women consume and have worked on all the issues that they may have had throughout the years. So they are incredibly supportive and they have now so much factual information to help them maneuver through life as they are socialized in the ways that they are, right? Everyone's now on the same page because they get raised differently and they consume different media. So that's how you still end up with so many loser women who vote for. You see the red microphone? Guess what kind of hat he likes to wear? Oh, wait, you know what? That hat is white and gold now, isn't it? He likes to wear that white and gold hat before he takes naps during live meetings with a bunch of people standing behind him. Jesus, what's up with those cankles? So we have men. I just seen this, and I know I'm a little bit all over the place, but it connects, right? The media that I engage with is meant to consistently educate me. And I just so happen to fall down this over the years as the algorithms developed, I would say. And I stayed a curious person. So I continuously engaged with things that would teach me, right? I wanted to know this, I would learn this. And already I'm in the tech field, right? Being a photographer, director, cinematographer, all that bullshit. Naturally, I'm going to have an algorithm that's tuned more towards trying to teach me. Oh, you're into tech? Well, here's some science stuff. Yeah. Here you go, you little fucking nerd. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. So, since I'm in science, I'm seeing so much information about how women were done dirty as a whole, not just African American women, in the healthcare industry, in every facet of society. And I see men who are consuming. I just learned this. That if you make a brand new TikTok, you get to scrolling. your feed. If it gets tuned in a way, you start watching too long of a video, you will end up consuming 83 to 87% of the content will be red pill adjacent, right? It will be the worst kind of manosphere bullshit, black pilled, mogging, I don't know, fucking bone smashing, whatever it's called, bullshit that you could possibly consume. And it is not good advice whatsoever. It is very strictly brainwashing, right? It is men telling other men and boys how to live their lives so that those men can make money, and then these men can feel fear and dread, continue to engage with said content that they just watched by said creators, and think that they are doing better, when in reality they are not. We have hit a point for the last 45 years consistently where women are more educated at a base level than men. Women go to and graduate college more than men in America. Women graduate high school more than men in America. 60-40, right? We're hitting a 10-point gap in graduation. Unfortunately, if you've been here for other episodes, you know that women are socialized in a way to go for the caregiver jobs, right? The jobs where your teachers, your various types of nurses, fields that may or may not pay well, right? But they're meant to take care of others. And again, this, right? You get multiple generations of being only allowed to work in certain fields. And in turn, you see that from your parents. These are the fields that you get into because you're only allowed to get into these fields. And you just end up socializing this way, right? If you see a man complaining that women don't work on oil rigs and they have kids, ask them, are you raising your daughter in a way that she's going to go work on an oil rig? Ask them, what job do you want your daughter to have? Ask them, if they don't have kids, what job do you want your daughter to work? Do you want her to go be a garbage woman, man, right? Garbage person, garbage them? Or do you want them to go work in the stores? Do you want them to be a plumber? Do you want them? Well, there's nothing wrong with being an electrician, but these are jobs that men consider manly work, dirty work, dangerous work. I was going to say electrician, but shit, if you're 200 feet up in the air working on them 240, 480 power lines, boy, zap, and you're done. So falling, you're done. There's not a lot, right? It's a lot of billionaire men at the top going down, telling the people who work for them, hey, tune the algorithm in this way because it gets the engagement going. And in turn, the more people stay on this app, argue, right, the more likely they are to swipe and engage with advertisement that we get paid billions of dollars for. Billions of dollars for. Remember Zuckerberg threw multiple billions of dollars at some fucking virtual reality shit that didn't mean anything? The company was still profitable that year. Still profitable that year. How you spend $4 billion? It's a failure. You're in the negative for that, but your company still profit. Oof. All right. Shit, I myself advertised on Facebook, well, Meta, via Instagram every single day, a couple dollars a day, right? For my business. And I can't wait to do it for this podcast so more people can see me yap, right? I've been yapping for like 10 minutes. Wait, but again, top down, these billionaires, of course, for some generations, but very specifically, Elon, Marky Mark, or Zucky Zuck, always suckety sucking on whoever's in charge of the country to get what he wants. And am I allowed to say this? The Ellisons have in TikTok, the oligarchs who have our social media companies in the palm of their hands doing whatever they want. Again, they tell the coders to have this algorithm work in this way where it is the most engaging, which is the most What do I want to say? Incendiary content that you could possibly see that gets you going, and you get the commenting and you think this is reality when it's not. People aren't engaging with scientific studies. People aren't even capable, right? Very specifically, because of our reading level, the average reading level in America is a seventh grade level. People are not reading scientific studies, stats. I see them manipulated and get thrown around. I see my own male family members and friends repeating bullshit that they've seen on TikTok. Why? Because I've seen it, so I know it, because it's been stitched or duetted and debunked. Like, here, you can read it for yourself. I myself am a voracious reader, reading every day, even though it may be some comics, some shit from overseas over here, you know. But I am consistently reading. I am consistently learning. I'm consistently taking in new information, so I can read these studies, I can read these articles, I can read these stats to a degree, right? Sometimes I'm just like, what, huh? The fuck does this mean? And I will be fine with not knowing, because I will put forth the effort to try and understand. But most people can't. Most people won't even engage with it. Most people will just see what somebody else is regurgitating that is a mishmash of it, that is just lying on the facts, on the statistics, on the studies, or using 10, 20, 30, 40-year-old information that is long null and void, and trying to push it out like it's the truth. And they're good at it. These Andrew Tates, these Myron Gaines, or Amru Fuddles, Fuddle. These red pill losers, right, who traffic women on the low, who can't have a successful relationship if it doesn't involve liquor and drugs, right, or throwing their money, right, because these are rich losers. So we have so many people popping up in the live stream game doing the same thing. And men are taking in this information, and it's just bullshit. So you have these men who saw what their parents, their grandparents had, that may or may not be accurate, because they didn't live their lives, right? They didn't see everything. And they believe that they deserve to have that. They deserve to have a wife, a kid, a wife to cater to them, to be a maid, to be a chef, to be a broodmare, right? And give them everything that they want, because why? They work. But here we are in this hyper capitalist, end stage capitalism ass bullshit country, and our men specifically, our buying power, our wages, the equivalent to 30 years ago, is down 20%. It's down 20%. It might be more than 30 years. But you can find that information for yourself, right? You see how I say something, a stat, and you're like, hold on, let me go look this up, right? And I saw it in a video from somewhere else, right? I'm sure if you compare our buying power, the wages that we have, then statistically in some way, we would be terrible compared to just 6-7 years ago, right? Pre-COVID to now. How much has inflation, right? Because these companies are just raising prices every single year just so they can continue to make profit. It doesn't even track with inflation. How much does things cost compared to then? How much of a raise are you getting compared to then? If you think about the boomers and how consistently they got a raise, how consistently strong their buying power was, how much things cost, things have changed drastically, right? It would be crazy for like what is it? What's the silent generation? Or is it the generation after that? Whatever it comes before the boomers, how expensive it was to have a TV, right? And that dollar amount might still be similar. But we have how many in the house? How many TVs do you have in the house now? Whether you watch TV or not, right? Shit, throw together the 2 monitors I got right here, the 4 behind me, the TV over there, the TV over there. I have a weird loft style thing. TV upstairs, right? That TV over there isn't even used, but it's cheap comparatively so to the previous generations. You go back and back and back, right? But how expensive is it for college? How expensive is it for insurance? Having your car, the interest rates on your home and your vehicle. What does that take it to? So I'm just yapping. I'm sorry. I it's the ADHD in me. I'm kind of on topic, but I'm out of here. Let's read another comment. I'm just yapping, bro. With 289 upvotes by Clueless in Wonderland, I've had to cut more and more men out of my life the older we get. After 30, a lot of my friends started growing bitter and entitled, demanding a wife who would manage every one of his responsibilities, pay 50% of all expenses, do 95% of all childcare and cleaning, look like a model in the middle of a photo shoot 24/7, etc. I'm only willing to walk someone through why that's wrong a couple of times before I'm done. I do have my brother who is trying to make himself ready for a family. That's my shining beacon of hope. If there's one, there's got to be more somewhere. And here's the thing. People shouldn't be parents. People should not be parents. And when I say people, I mean it generally because I mean the majority, right? You look outside, count how many people are stupid or dumb or terrible, and then count how many people are good, intelligent, and have morals and values that are equal to and or beyond yours. What's going to be more, right? 6, 7, 6. I'm sorry for that. So people aren't raised to be ready to be parents, especially because the majority of people still have kids when they're 18 to 28. Right? They're mostly still babies at that point. Here I am, 31, and I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I don't have the money put up. I don't have the physical capabilities for my own standards set. I don't even have the time available, right? If I want to do this podcast, still work my job, still run my business, what am I? How am I going to take care of a baby? I don't even have a partner. Well, that's first. A good, happy, healthy relationship, right? People, if you are on your way to have kids, you're pregnant, you're listening, you're with your partner, pick up some books on parenting. I'm sure there are a lot of good books by doctors, psychologists, therapists, psychiatrists, maybe, where you can read about how to take care of them, how to raise them, because the information from your parents is out of date, right? Easily think about it. Your child being in one like those bouncy walkers that would like go around the room. From my information in the back of my head, that is bad for the child's development, for their walking motor skills, and or the growth of their bones, maybe their muscles. Back of my head information, right? But what I'm pretty sure I was in one of them. You were probably in one of them, right? I'm sure you can pull up some pictures. Could I pull up some pictures? I don't think I can. But you will probably get one of those delivered by somebody in the older generation of your family or friends. And it's like, yeah, you shouldn't have bought this. It shouldn't even be sold, to be completely honest. So reading a reply from OP, exactly. The older I get, the less I can even respect the views of my male friends. Sheer lack of empathy or compassion. We are objects to them to use for their benefit and status boost. I'm just at the stage where I don't even want to. Jesus. I'm just at the stage where I don't even want to keep even one male friend in my life anymore. And it's aggravating. Right? People always think they're right. That's the lesson I learned last year in my 30s. No one thinks that they're wrong. They always think that they're right. From my friends to my coworkers to my family members, and it's aggravating, especially when I know that they're wrong and I'm trying to walk them through it, trying to teach them, trying to educate them, just trying to argue with their ass. And it's really hard to get people out of their thought process. Fuck a epistemic bubble. Everyone's locked in their own echo chambers of their thoughts, and it's sad. You really have to be raised or raise your kids in a way where they're open to new information, consistently open to new information. Not just that, having the ability to discern the truth and or do the research. My mom is always like Google Scholar, Google Scholar, Google Scholar. Right? She just hit me with a bunch of studies the other day. Hi, mom. Hi, mom. Hi, ma. And didn't even get around to them, right? Because I'm not ready to dive into what it's about yet. Because shit, I'm always doing so much research into other stuff. All right, always trying to spend money on camera equipment. That's really what it is. So I don't even know how to break the entitlement. It would again, the world would have to be a better place, or maybe not even again for me to say it the first time. The world would have to be a better place. These companies would have to change hands. These monopolies would have to be broken apart. The stranglehold on poorly educating our children would have to be broken, and everyone would have to be paid more. Because when you're paid more and you can work less, you can be there for your kids more. You can have them be in a good environment. Well, automatically it's going to be a good environment if everybody's making more money. And children can have a better education. That's purely the foundation. If kids have to come home, be in a bad environment, take care of their siblings, younger or older, cook and clean for the house because the parents have to work multiple jobs and or are tired and sick or addicted, children aren't going to be able to learn. They aren't going to be able to do their homework. They aren't going to be able to sit. They aren't going to be able to be raised from 0 to 4 in a way where they can write, read, piss shit by themselves. I see teachers online on TikTok complaining how these kids can't even spell their name. They can't even write in the lines. I see people my age saying that they're white people. They're raising their what's it called? They're homeschooling. There was one particular TikTok I seen of a while that homeschooling opened up the kid's book, and it was like across. See if you can find it. It was the kid trying to write in the book just a couple words, and it filled up the whole page with wise, and it was just disturbing. The kid was like 7 or something. Might be a little bit older. The kid might definitely be older now at this point. Yeah, because somebody said the video was from like 2024. It was just a repost. So, top down, right? If our taxes weren't used for war, they were heavily pushed back into our school system. If billionaires weren't siphoning off our public tax funds and maneuvering, lobbying our local governments to maneuver that money into their charter schools so they can have tax breaks and they can make even more money, right? If everyone got paid more and poverty was cut by 90%, and welfare was recalculated, right? If there was a pure hold on the raising of prices of goods, everyone would be off better. And then that would be a point where we could jump 50 years ahead socially to improve all these boys and men, right? Women are just like striving. They're struggling through the mud, and they're just leaps and bounds ahead. Not all of them, but the majority of them, right? What do they feel entitled to? Your money, your dick. That's all you're leading with anyway. That's all you're offering anyway. If all you gave me was two, I got two hands. I could take it all. No diddy. I could take it all. Nah, let me stop. Yeah, you're not giving anything else. I gotta move on from this story. I really do. We're over in the r/ Am I the Asshole subreddit with a post by Triple Z Yo Triple Z. Yo zzz. Am I the asshole for telling my husband to lose the entitled attitude and do shit for himself? Just recently, my husband, 31 years old, was promoted to assistant manager of the warehouse. Yay! We both work on the ups of 50 hours a week. I am a shift manager at a behavioral disorders facility. Both jobs are very hands-on and strenuous. Since his promotion, he has developed an entirely different attitude, extremely entitled, and dare I say, rude as all fuck. He is always boasting and bragging. This has been going on for 3 weeks now. So some examples are as followed. On his days off, he wants the house to be radio silent. If our 4-year-old wants to play, he tells her to stick to her bedroom because he needs peace and quiet after working so hard. If I make our daughter lunch, he will immediately say, "Where's mine?" He asks me to grab him things damn near constantly, all hours of the night. He expects nightly back rubs, but if I ask, he will scoff at me and say, "I worked all day." Even if I had as well. He expects meals that he likes made every night, regardless if me or our daughter likes the meal or not. He also now acts like he has full say over the money because he makes more. Last night, the tip of the iceberg, for me, hit Titanic. Before this, I let a lot of shit slide because it was a recent promotion, and hell, he's excited. So I get it. But last night, around like 11 p.m., I was in the bed scrolling through my phone. He comes into the bedroom, lays down, and says, "Babe, you should go make me some ice cream. I want chocolate drizzle on it. And oh, don't forget the cashews." He then starts scrolling through his phone. I ignore it because I feel at this point I was going to snap. He then shook my leg and said, "Did you hear me?" So I responded with, "Yeah, I did hear you, and no, go make it yourself. You were literally just out there. Your sense of fucking entitlement is way out of line. Do shit for yourself." He became offended and instantly, like fucking clockwork, said, "But I worked all fucking day." So I snapped back with, "Yeah, I did too. In fact, I worked 12 hours to your 8. Like I said, do shit for yourself." He is now saying that he is not acting entitled and that I was just taking my bad day out on him and that everything I said makes him feel unappreciated. Am I the asshole? Did I push it too far? Fuck no. Your husband is liable to get some ice cream smushed into his face. What? Oh, you're making demands of me to cater to you like we don't have a child to take care of together, to raise together, while we also work separate jobs, hard jobs, 40, 50 plus hours a week. I'm not about to cater to you, rub your back every night, go fetch shit for you in the middle of the night all the damn time. You're lucky it's lasted 3 weeks. 3 weeks? I might cash out on your health insurance by tripping your ass down the stairs. Oh, boo-hoo. My husband, he was working so hard after his promotion and he hasn't been getting enough sleep, and I just been taking care of him, and he was just in his state of exhaustion. He tripped down the stairs. His work, it just must have been driving him so. It's just been driving him to just mental exhaustion. He hasn't been able to sleep. Oh, now he's gone. Cashing out that fucking check. I know it's got to be good. I know it's got to be good. Bro, your assistant manager. Your assistant manager. Your assistant manager. Your collar isn't even white yet. That shit is like Tiffany blue. It's baby blue. It's powder blue. You're still blue fucking collar, bro. You're a team leader. You're giving bathroom breaks to the people who work on the line, right? Your man's is taking a 15-minute break. Your manager hits you up over the radio because you have a radio now, rather than him texting and calling your ass. And he needs you to hop on that motherfucking high-low to get some shit down off the top rack. Because you got an immediate shipment that has to leave the fucking warehouse. Bro, you got a $2.50 raise. Shut the fuck up. And if you so happen to technically be corporate now, you just so happen to be a pure white collar motherfucker, you have a terrible personality. You get just this tiny bit of money, whether it be $250 or extra $20,000 a year, and you switch the fuck up on your wife. On your wife. I'm assuming potentially, possibly wife of 4 or 5 plus years old, because you have a 4-year-old daughter together. And then you switch up on your kid too. You don't want to hear your child make child sounds on the weekend. That baby has had a hard week long being in kindergarten with her hands fucking cramping, trying to write her name in between the lines on the paper all damn day long. The cow goes moo, motherfucker. That's easy for you, but for a 4-year-old, damn, hold on. The cow goes what again? Wait, how many O's are in moo? Mrs. Teacher, how do you spell chicken? I like to eat chicken. Chicken tastes good. Ooh, especially with barbecue sauce, but how do you spell it? Why are there 2 C's in chicken? Isn't the K enough? You sure you spelled this right? Like, bruh, I'm sorry. Oh my God. Nah, bruh. Nah, I picked out some good ass stories and I'm pissed. And I already read this story. I forgot. I'm pissed. Yo, I am upset. I'm upset. Ooh, top comment. And technically we got to skip past the am I the asshole mod bot. It's saying be civil. All caps, bold and underlined. Nah, fuck that. I do what I want. I'm Mr. Always on 10, baby. By Lynn 620 with 27,000 upvotes. Not the asshole. Somebody needs to knock your husband off his high horse. You two need to have a serious talk that at home you're equals and he's not the boss. Hell, if he's treating employees like this, things won't go well at work either. Husband and I work an equal amount of hours, so we split the chores and take turns cooking. It sounds like he needs to pitch in too. And here my single ass is. The last time I was in a relationship, does my ex watch this? I hurt her feelings, right? Because I cook in a certain way and she cooks in a certain way. And I kind of laughed at her. I found the shit like a little funny because it was like cute a little bit. How did I experience this? This was some years back. It was like cute a little bit and at the same time kind of like silly to me. Because it's like, girl, hold on, let me cook this. You cooking a little while. So me cooking for myself every day, I would find it weird having someone else cook for me, and then like I can just imagine because I've had food from so many different people, ate at so many different restaurants. Ooh, I don't like it. Right, not liking somebody's food, so I can easily find myself being like, all right, or very simply, I didn't. I'm stopping my sentence before I even say it. I'm saying it in my head, but y'all know what I'm saying. All right, let's take some cooking lessons, or I'll just take some period, right? Because who doesn't want to up their skills? And my food would just be the shit, right? I just don't want to eat somebody else's food, and it's not like good, you know. Even even like average on like a grade scale, it's like still good, 70%. Because anything less than that is like, ugh. And mid is just like 50. It's a failure. It's right in the middle. 50 is a failure. No, nobody wants to eat mid ass food or less than. Wait, why did I start talking about food? Oh yeah, because food and chores. The comment from Lynn 620, everything being equal, right? Just because you make a couple more dollars doesn't mean shit about the change. Are you spending more? Did you pay more for the bills this month? Did you pay more for daycare this month? More for pre-K this month? Because the baby's 4. Do you pay for pre-K? Some pre-Ks you pay for, right? Some bougie ass elitists. Well, I mean, the kids probably need it at this point, right? They need that. They need that high tier shit so they don't fall behind. Oh man, right? Last story I went off about the kids being behind more than previous years. Um, Nah, man. Even if you do get paid more, things at home still need to be equal, right? If I'm bringing 6 figures home, and my partner is a teacher, so they're bringing home $47,000 a year, the bills are just going to be split in accordance to the percentage of the money that we make, right? Based upon us being able to put away a percentage of our wages. Um, no, just based upon the bills. So that way, no matter what, we would be able to have money in a 401k and individually for ourselves, fund money, spending money, savings accounts, all that good shit, right? But the bills get paid. Joint account, auto, right? Um, maybe I'm trying to think. Sorry, guys. Single man here who has not lived with anyone for an extended period of time. I am so sorry. Right. Um, so I'm just thinking because I have not had to split bills. Um, but even then, no matter what, if I'm the everything, my brain is a little fried because I myself could very easily work 712s. Right. I work at a plant. And my warehouse is built in, baby. All right. You little fucking assistant manager. And I could easily work 712s. I could easily bring home, well, not easily. If my job said, hey, well, you have to work 712s for the rest of the year, I would, after tax, be bringing home, before tax, after tax? Nah, after tax. I would be bringing home 712s the entire year, throw in my vacation time, right? Shit, even take a week off, right? Unpaid time. I would be bringing home after taxes $150, right? But that's just not happening. I don't. The plants here, the economy here, the economy in the country, right? It's not saying, hey, we need you to work 712s. The motherfuckers aren't buying what we're producing like that, especially because of how expensive it is. You can take a guess where I work. But that would be the only thing that would stop me from not having things be equal at home because I would physically be incapable of it, right? My commute would be 20 minutes to 40 minutes, maybe even an hour, depending on whatever plant I would have to be at to work that, right? But if it's 20 minutes, right, I'm working 6 to 6, or I'm working 4 to 4. So 6 to 6, I'm back home come essentially 7 o'clock with traffic, right? I'm up 4:50, home 7 p.m., right? Sleep 9 p.m. to maybe 11:30. It's all dependent, right? 11:30 at the latest. Otherwise, I'm gonna be a cranky bitch the next day, or just going taking a nap on breaks and lunch, right? But I like to be in the gym on breaks and lunch. I gotta lose that weight. I gotta get strong, you know. And I wouldn't even be able to go to the gym after work like how I'm doing right now because I'm just doing eights. So I'll take my happy ass home, hop in the shower, eat some food, protein yogurt for the win, and hit the gym, then come back, right? And even then, I still feel like I don't have enough time in the day. Like when do I get my chance to doom scroll, baby? So having to do chores, laundry, cleaning, cooking, right? Shit, spending time together just to have the relationship be at wherever it could be. what right? My partner would have to take over that extra work, and then I don't know, man. I feel like I would be beholden. I'm kind of yapping a little bit. If you couldn't tell, this story also doesn't have any comments by OP. And this one is an old one. So it's definitely not going to get any new comments added to it. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. I think that's the moral of the thing. Ooh. We got a comment by Salem on a see all the lowercase letters are getting to me. Salem on a DET. DT? DETA. What are you spelling here? Salem on a DT. Is that a word? Am I slow, you guys? Oh, I fucked that up. Is that a word? Search. Not really. It's weird. All right. Salem on or something. Who gives a fuck? Not the asshole. He sounds like he's on a power trip. I had a coworker, great guy, get promoted to management. And he started acting like this. He lasted 2 months before he got demoted and reprimanded. He went from a great guy to a braggart. And started talking to us like we were idiots. A week later, I was given the promotion and made sure I stayed grounded / kind to everyone. If you don't nip his entitlement in the bud, someone else will do it, and it won't be pretty. Comment by, what are these names, bro? Hasseldama? What are these usernames, people? I work with a guy who was given a small promotion with minor disciplinary power. The subsequent power trip ensured that he would never be promoted again and had his discipline abilities severely curtailed. He still has a decade under retirement, and the company president himself has stated he will never get farther in the company than he is right now. OP, not the asshole. Keep that spine. Hopefully your husband will pull his head out of his ass before he commits career suicide. And that's the one thing, right? Are you going to fuck up your job to end your relationship with not just your wife, but also your child in their most fundamental years? They're going to see how you're acting if you continue acting this way for months and or years. I'm sorry. I'm putting a slash in my words, but I'm not saying slash. that little girl is going to come to hate you. People already don't go to their dads to get advice on serious things, speak to them about serious topics. They go to their spouses first, then like their mother, then their friends, then their extended family members, then their dad. Like 20% of the time. All right, you go from all right, some serious shit happened. I need to open up. 80% of the time they go to their partners. All right, I think it's like 60% of the time they go to their mothers, and then 50% is somewhere near there for like 50%. I'm sorry, they go to their friends 50% of the time. It's a little high, a little low. I saw a little something. It was like a survey that was done. Proud boomer. You're proud to be a boomer. Comments with 8.7K upvotes, not the asshole. And if that's how your husband is acting at work, his stint as assistant manager will be a short-lived one. For the sake of his career, he needs to learn the difference between being a boss and being a leader. Ooh, that's a comment right there. I like this. Elisa in Purgatory. Hey, I read that. All lowercase. Commented with 4.3K upvotes. Not the asshole. Girl, nip this in the bud now before it goes any further. I understand he got a promotion, but he needs to reel it in. Tell him to grow up, stop acting like a child. You work just like him, and make him stop throwing money in your face. Also, just because your job is strenuous doesn't give him the right to act like a dick. Good luck. Yeah, and here's the thing. Your job ain't special, bro. Whose life are you saving? Your back hurts because you're doing more work? Get a massage gun. Get your massage on. Oh, that shit feels good. Hyper Ice, sponsor your boy. I had them links in every single video. This shit feels fantastic. I spent a pretty penny on this. It sounds like my voice is in the damn fan. Ooh, up. Remember, people, do not massage your neck. All right, you have very sensitive things in there that you might end up hurting. Real talk though, don't let the power get to your heads. Do not let the power get to your heads, people. We're in the r/am I the asshole subreddit with a post by busy_spinach_6445. Am I the asshole for calling my brother-in-law's wife insanely entitled after an argument over photos of my sister? My late sister Anna was married to my best friend Josh. Together they had 2 children. My niece is 9 and my nephew is 7. Anna died 3 years ago. Josh remarried 1 year ago. His current wife is Hazel. I'll confess, it has been awkward, uncomfortable, and my brother-in-law has admitted that he feels it too. We're still close, still best friends too, but it's weird and hurts sometimes to see him with someone else. I'm happy he's happy, but Anna was my sister, so the emotions are a lot more complex. He understands. My niece and nephew have struggled to accept Hazel. My nephew doesn't really remember his mom, but my niece talks about her a lot. And my brother-in-law talks about her too. He has never wanted to forget her / erase her or let her memory fade. Hazel and I get along okay. We're not close. I admit that we don't really talk or engage much. There has been some weird moments. She didn't love me and my family being at the wedding or taking care of the kids that day, which brother-in-law asked me. She had wanted her parents to take care of the kids. She has also said she finds it weird that I'm Anna's brother. While I struggle with Josh being married to someone who isn't Anna, I'm also happy for his happiness. A week ago, Hazel and I got into a fight, and it's caused some extra tension. She told me she was uncomfortable in my house and that I needed to remove the family photos of Anna, Josh, and the kids, and Anna and Josh's wedding photos, and even mine because Anna and Josh were in them too. What? I laughed at first, thinking she couldn't be serious, but she was. She said she always looks to see if I still have them, and then said I should take them down and put up some of them, her and Josh and the kids. She also wanted me to remove the wall of Anna's art in our dining room. This is different paintings and drawings Anna did for me slash us over the years. She told me Anna's dead. Anna's the past, and she is the future. I told her Anna's my sister, not her, and I can have photos of my sister in my home if I want to. She told me I can't deny her this because I even have childhood photos of Anna on the walls, and she's letting them go even though she feels they should be gone too. She said the kids see themselves in her kids' photos and it's making it harder for her to get into their hearts. She told me I have no right to make her feel, to make her so uncomfortable. I said I should not be in this. I'm sorry. I said she should not be this insanely entitled at her age of 32. She should be grown enough to know she can't dictate other people's houses. Josh came in and asked Hazel to go home early. He asked me to have the kids 3 days last week too, which we did. Hazel didn't like it, and she accused me of taking the kids out of spite so I can fill their heads with talk about Anna. She called me an asshole and an insensitive jerk. Am I the asshole? You're an asshole if you don't help your best friend bury Hazel. I can't. This is so crazy. I couldn't even read it right. I don't even. What the fuck? I am. There. Who? I'm too angry of a person. People. You should absolutely be fine with knocking family members out. Hazel doesn't even technically count. She has no relationship to you. She's your niece and nephew's stepmother. Like, I guess, no, legally speaking, you can't even say that counts as your stepsister because she didn't adopt them kids. She might have like default parental rights to some degree because she married their father, but it was your sister who was married and had those kids. So, my brain is fried. I couldn't imagine walking into somebody's house and telling them to take the pictures of their dead sister off the fucking wall so I could be her kid's new mom better. Every time my stepkids go to your house and see pictures of their dead mom on your wall, it makes it harder for me to be their new mom. I can't get into their hearts that way if you keep the pictures of your dead sister on your wall in your house that you own, pictures that you're in as well. Shit. I've been nice enough not to crash out on you and take them pictures of you as a kid with your sister off your fucking wall. You can at least take the ones that y'all grown and the ones of y'all and her kids, my kids now. off the wall. I'll let you keep the ones of you as a kid and her as a kid on the wall. I'm saying wall too much. Give me a top comment, please. Oh my God, give me a top comment. By J Penelope with 3.5K upvotes. Not the asshole. Anna was your sister, not just Josh's wife. I gotta let that one hang in the air. It's perfectly reasonable for you to have photos of her and her art in your own home. Also, especially with the kids, it's important for them to remember their mother and to see photos of themselves with her. Hazel may be their stepmom, but it sounds like she's trying to replace Anna in the minds and hearts of Anna's own children. That's a red flag for me. Oh, my brain is fried. Oh. Machine Z replies to J Penelope, right? And the talk. You're spelling Machine Z. Turn on your autocorrect. Right. And the talk needs to be had with Josh. It's one thing to remove Anna from Josh and Hazel's home. It's a whole nother level of crazy to remove it from her own brother's home. A conversation needs to be had with both so everyone is on the same page, where she has no right to dictate what OP hangs in his home. And sorry, I guess, drops a comment to that comment. Honestly, it's horrid that they removed all the photos of Anna from being displayed in Josh and Hazel's home as well. They don't have to display wedding photos or anything romantic, but Anna was the children's mother, and it's their home as well. They deserve to see pictures of her in their home. Hazel needs to stop trying to compete with a dead woman and realize that she can make her own place in everyone's lives without erasing Anna. I dated a widower years ago, and I loved seeing photos of his late wife in his home. They were a reminder that this man was capable of commitment, of deep love for a partner, and those are all huge green flags. I wanted to hear and know about this woman who had won his heart. She wasn't my competition. She was an important part of his life story. I wish more people who date and marry widows/widowers would understand that. Ooh. Sorry _I_guess. Comment right there. Comment right there. Ooh, top tier. Top tier you are. All right, let's get back to the bullshit. Cultural _section _862 comments. Holy fucking shit. I can't even fathom where this person thought this would be a reasonable request. Not the asshole. What the fuck was Josh thinking? Honestly, Josh might not be a good person. Your best friend might not be a good person. And in turn, you might not be a good person. Right? You riding hard very specifically for your sister. But Josh is nothing in this crazy ass bitch. And maybe she switched up, right? Because you know when milestones are hit, people start to reveal their real personalities. They get real comfortable real quick and start to reveal their personalities. Huh. Y'all like me hearing saying y'all like hearing me say wall so much? No, it's just words that start with R-E. So hopefully this is just like a pure switch up out of nowhere. But if she's progressively been getting worse over the past 3 years. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Whoop. Year and some change. Because Anna died 3. Oh my God. People, if your partner dies and you have kids, don't remarry within 3 years. If your partner dies and you have children, things may be dependent on the age, but just go out, buy some condoms, and get you some ass. It's that simple. It's that simple. Right? I understand that things may be absolutely, totally, wholly expensive, especially after paying for a funeral and having children. Um, but you shouldn't get into a relationship just because you're lonely and slash or your finances. No, no. Move back home with your parents. Get into a situation where you can live with multiple people that you have trust. Everyone's a fucking predator, men and women. 62 million. Now let me stop. Those are just impressions. Thousands of men in a group chat teaching other men how to do terrible, devious things. I'm not going to get into that, but not going to get into that. Somebody hacked that website though, and get that bitch off the internet. Where am I thinking? Yeah, Josh ain't it. Josh ain't it. Josh needs therapy. Josh needs to grieve properly. Hopefully his kids are in therapy and they've been allowed to grieve properly. Please divorce Hazel. Ugh. This story is a while back too. Ugh. My brain is ugh. I couldn't imagine moving on after less than 2 years. Because I would have like a 7, 8-year-old daughter, 5, 6-year-old son. I know things would be hard, but I couldn't imagine like, oh, let me just get him a new mom. I couldn't imagine that. With you remarried a year ago and your wife died 3 years ago. Normally like the progression is date, move in, marry, date, move in, engage, propose, whatever you want to say, then marry. But you married a year ago, so where's all the steps before? Were you cheating on your wife, Josh? Were you cheating on your wife? Is that why she is so scary, so jealous, wants to remove every artifact of her husband's dead wife from everyone's lives and homes? I'm extrapolating to like a weird place, but this is yeah. And here, delete a user puts the shit into perspective. 551 votes. Your brother-in-law needs to have a serious discussion with his wife. Otherwise, he's just as responsible for this shit as she is. Now, just disgusting behavior from that woman, not the asshole. And OP, this your bestie. This your brother-in-law. This is your dead wife's husband. Can't even call him ex-husband because she passed. She didn't divorce this man. You need to rock his shit. If you want to claim to be a good person and you're having this person be your bestie, you need to rock his shit. Right? Or you need to see real growth and development from that wife. Hopefully she just didn't take some pills or she's having a fucking manic episode. Right. People. You should do your research before you do things that you have never done before, because that will help you navigate through them well, or just have a certain level of expectation or how things may go. Right. You may be prepared to some degree. But I can tell you right now, my advice to you is to not date people who have kids and not to date people who are widowed. There is a level of baggage, quote unquote. Now I'm saying quote unquote specifically for the people who are listening and not watching, right? That comes along with people who have children and comes along with people who have lost their partner. And the average person is not ready for that. Most people are average. You may think of yourself, you may think of yourself as special, right? But what have you done, truly, to specifically raise points in that category, in that space, where you are capable You have special abilities, right? Where you know for sure you can date people like this. My brain is cooked. This a little late. I need to make dinner. I don't feel hungry though, because I'm feeding off the radiation coming out of these posts. Because this entitlement, man, this entitlement is crazy. Bitch, you walk into my crib and tell me which photos to take off my wall? Which artwork I can't have up? Everyone likes to say that, damn, you're better than me, because I wouldn't have done that. No, these people are weaker than me in the brain, because I absolutely would have. Me. Matter of fact, here's a fit check, because I'm coming with that black suit energy, baby. I'm coming with that black suit energy, baby. It's no way in fuck. It's no way in hell that somebody's about to come into my motherfucking house and tell me to do what the fuck in my crib. Tell me what the fuck to have on my walls. Tell me what art I can't have and fucking display and what childhood photos I can't fucking put up. I'm rocking your shit. I'm treating you like your name is Wilson Fisk, and I'm grabbing you by your titty and I'm beating the brakes off you. And if my aunt dies, I'm coming back to finish the job. No, let me stop. If you're a Spider-Man fan and you read the comics, you will understand that quotes. It's not a proper quote, but it's close enough. Put the motherfucking spider web fluid down your throat, motherfucker. Ooh. Let me stop. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. I gotta like restrain myself too, because I almost hit my camera. Oh shit. Unfortunately, there are no comments. Even more unfortunately, whoop. Am I positive? Am I sure? OP has had their account suspended, so no comments, no updates, no more information. And I did go looking. But hopefully, OP got his shit together. Hopefully, his bestie, his brother-in-law, get his shit together. Hopefully, Hazel got kicked out the fucking crib and got therapy, or just got therapy and became a better person by what percentage points? 45? No, 75. Because this is like a 20. No. Yeah, 45. Because this is like a 30. Right. So 75 is fine. 75 might be what Josh deserves because he moved on so quickly from his wife who passed. Right. He might deserve a 75 because he's like a 75, and hopefully they get even better over time. Right. Because the kids deserve a stable home with a parental matriarchal figure who just isn't a fucking crash out. Crazy motherfuckers. Ugh. We're over in the Am I the Asshole subreddit with a post by Henny DEFN. Am I the asshole for saying my babysitting rates are $35 an hour? I'm a software engineer with a full-time job and a side hustle of doing freelance coding work in my own time. I've always been the type to have a side hustle that I put a lot of my free time into. I get really bored sitting idle. My freelance hourly rates are $60 an hour, and at my full-time job, my hourly work pays out to about $40 an hour. So that's how I value my time. Anyways, over Christmas vacation, I was staying at my parents' house. My cousin was also staying over there with her 3 young kids from Christmas to New Year's. I've been planning on doing some work on my freelance projects when I had free time. In the mornings when my family had no plans, I wasn't in any rush. I was already ahead of schedule on all of them, but I didn't really have anything else to do. It was in a really rural area, and it's like an hour drive to the nearest place to do anything. My cousin and her husband asked if I could babysit all day for 3 days so they could visit some friends in the area and hang out with just adults. I said I had planned on doing freelance work at the library, and she offered to pay me to babysit. I said I could do it if they got close to my freelance rates. She wanted a number, and although my freelance rates are $60, I didn't feel like that was right. It was high, honestly, but I didn't want to go too low. Honestly, babysitting 3 kids would be harder for me than the routine coding work I had for my freelance project. I don't know a lot about kids, and I've never babysat for long, and I had a feeling it would be stressful and difficult. So I said $35, which is below what I make at hourly work and what is the bare minimum I'd value my time for if that time is spent doing difficult work. And she went crazy at me, saying that's a ridiculous rate for babysitting, that I was entitled and being selfish, that I'm trying to take advantage of how she didn't have any other options, etc. I said that's way below what I'd be making if I had the time to do my own work, and I'd be putting off my own work to babysit. Her husband then got mad at me, saying that I was a 24-year-old girl, that I'm damn near a child myself, that my time is not worth that much, and it's childish to say that it was, and that I was a stupid girl for not knowing that babysitting costs like 15 an hour. When I grew up and have kids of my own, I will see how stupid I was being. I was kind of done of being I was kind of done with being called stupid. So I just told them I hope they could find someone else. My mom thinks that I asked for something offensive, and my cousin and her husband obviously did too. Am I the asshole for giving that number? Yo, I'm entirely too tired to even get this fucking hype, but pick up one of their kids and hit them all over the head with it. Them. Yeah. Let's not call kids it. Unless it's Halloween and they're wearing makeup and a wig and a clown outfit. You know, I'm tired. This shit. That's how I move, right? Very specifically, when I was deep into my business, right? I went from like 16 to my mid 20s making like minimum wage, which was oh my God, what was it? 735 or something. When I worked at Foot Locker, it was like it was 685 plus commission. Right. So I had to sell enough to get over minimum wage with commission. Right. I had to make 685, make a minimum of a dollar amount sold. So I would be making more than minimum wage. Oh my God. I see those check stubs every couple of years. No, not those check stubs. My W-2s every couple of years. I go through all of them, and I'm just like, oh my God. There was a year I made only $10,000. Now double that and pass it to OP in this situation. 20. Do you want me to make 20 fucking grand a year? But even then, I was only working like weekends, so it's not like I was doing anything crazy like that. Child care has to be one of the most important jobs, along with teaching. We are at a point now where children are just randomly dying, like in a crib. What is it? What is it? Infant death syndrome, where they just randomly, which, you know, in my opinion, I think it's just neglect and parents going crazy from not sleeping and just pillow on face kind of thing. So people don't do that anymore because we now have the technology to know, oh, this baby was suffocated. Murder. So, where am I going with this? The entitlement is insane. Yes, I am a little all over the place. Again, I think back to making minimum wage, technically less than, but also more than minimum wage, all the way up into where I had the revelation, oh shit, I am spending so much time filming, editing, doing corrections, giving this content out to clients. And I did math. What I was charging, I was not making more than I was doing working security. And that was like fucking 15 an hour. Why am I going out, putting my fucking foot in my ass and doing a backflip to shoot the best content I possibly can? The best videos, best commercials, best music videos, shit, even the photo shoots that I was doing. And I was not making more than what I was doing working a regular ass job. Sometimes I would be more tired leaving set, staying up late nights editing than I was when sometimes I had to put the pause on motherfuckers. So that made me like go into a state of depression, but reevaluate my shit. And I like pulled all the way back. I stopped reaching out for clients. I stopped looking for people because as I did the math and I was like, how would I want to live my life? Okay. Double this, right? 30 an hour, 40 an hour for my efforts, my work that I put in. Okay. It's going to average out to me working this much on a shoot, on a day, on set, and then I have to put this many hours in editing. Okay. Let me charge this dollar amount at a minimum. Right. I didn't even priced out. Okay, this shoot should cost more for this level of production. I didn't even priced out, okay, this may need to be rented. I didn't even priced out, okay, I need to bring on this number of people to help work on this project. That wasn't even a thought in my head. I was always a one-man band. And with that, as people wanted to work with me, they couldn't afford the new price. I was just like, all right. Maybe dissuaded, disillusioned. Even to this day, I don't outwardly reach out to people because I don't want to put my time and effort into something, be unappreciated and underpaid. Right. The industry isn't really here like that. And here's one thing. I could probably do a shit ton of weddings. Right. I could probably go out and find some clients who would pay a price that I want. But I wouldn't be interested in creating that type of art. It would still be artistic to some degree, but like, nah, I don't do weddings. Corporate work sounds cool, right? Because it sounds like it might be a good check, but my expertise isn't in that. I know the gear that's necessary I don't have. So I'm not even going to attempt to like, okay, let me go. Nope, you've never even done it, never even tried it, never even practiced it. Why just outwardly seek people? And they can't even see any examples, you know? So when it goes to working with small businesses, doing commercials with them and doing a lot of work with different artists, musicians, and bands, motherfuckers be broke. I remember one time I had lowered my fee and I wasn't even charging a lot. I think it was like $500 to shoot a music video because I had randomly found this person's Instagram page, a rapper from Detroit, and it was a song that I really fucking liked. And I was like in the DMs begging to try and shoot this, but like still in like a business manner. And to the point where I had lowered my cost all the way down to $100. And the motherfucker was like, I can't afford that. At some point, I think he mentioned management. And I just really wanted to shoot that one particular song. And that shit, it was like just another thing that was like stuck in my head that made me, let me not reach out to people anymore. Cause I would, what do you call it? Cold calling? I would hit motherfuckers with DMs, emails, comments underneath their posts, right? I would do all the engaging things to try to get them to book me, right? Outside of making dope shit, right? And people see that price, they're like, oof. Not even oof. It's a most of the time it's probably like a no response. I would find I would find like pages of people who I DM'd in the past, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and I already reached out to them because either they were familiar to me and I was like curious, like, who is this person, or I wanted to like say something to them. I don't know, just random things where I would just be getting ready to DM them and then seeing that old thread of me having propositioned them in the past to work with them and them either be interested, see that price, and then there's nothing after that. I was like, oh, all right, moving on. And sometimes I'll probably still be following these people because that's how it goes for Instagram, right? You see somebody, you follow them, you interact, and then their shit does not pop up on your feed anymore. And I get it. As a musician, you're starving until you make it. There's really no money in the game unless you're doing well for yourself, going viral, touring, the whole shebang. But if you want a fucking 4K, 6K, 8K, 12K music video, if you want an elaborate themed photo shoot, right, this shit costs. And your fans want to see it. What am I? I'm just like bitching and moaning to y'all. Let's try and stay on this. My bad. It's 12:30 a.m. I had to take a break, but I really should have took a nap instead. Don't let others try to define your own worth. Don't let people try to lowball you. Don't let any capitalist fuck suck all the energy out of you for pennies while they get to go fuck off and enjoy time with their friends. Off of your back. Top comment by Fee44. Not the asshole. 3 kids all day for 3 straight days? Even real babysitters would charge more than $15 for 3 kids. Obviously, they wanted you to do it as a favor and got upset that you treated it as an actual job. Spot on. That's why they got 34K upvotes. 34,000. By a deleted user that replied, exactly, and I used to babysit at the age of 20, not a teenager. And other girls who babysat charged $15 per hour per child. If they took their children to daycare, I believe it would be priced out the same. You don't get a bulk deal for having more kids. That's not how it works. More kids, more labor, more work to do. And another deleted user replied to that deleted user's comment, what the fuck? I'm 34 and I make $15.50 an hour. I need a new fucking job. What the fuck? Thanks, Reddit. I hate my fucking life now. Ooh. But they ended up crossing out I hate my fucking life. They did an edit, I believe, here. You beautiful people, I love you all. Didn't I expect so many people to be in similar situations as myself? Maybe we can all better our lives together. So many awesome responses to my bitchy little petulant comment. But this could be the start of a new chapter for me and others here learning about new career paths from you beautiful people. And hopefully this deleted user is doing pretty good because they were making $15.50 an hour when shit, I think I was making nothing because this was COVID. I was in the bed snacking on food, getting fat and depressed, thinking, oh shit, hope I don't die. But nah, I was probably making like $16. Yeah. $16 ain't shit. 16 an hour. Let me do some math real quick. Oh my lord. Let's do some math real quick. What kind of taxes are we going to add on that? 16 times 40. Let's do 51 weeks because you got to take a week off for Christmas. Boop, boop, boop. Why does that look like nothing? What? God, Jesus Christ. $32,640. Is that right? 16 times 40 hours equals 640 times 51 weeks. Yeah, 32,640. Good Lord. And then multiply that by point. I don't know. What percent should it be? 0.85. $27,744. 15% for taxes. Holy shit. Was I really making that little? Yeah, that's nothing. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just looking back and seeing where I'm at just disturbs me sometimes. Run their zombies. In all lowercase. My brain had to like acclimate. Comments, not the asshole. If they really wanted to go away for 3 days, they should have arranged a sitter in advance. The husband saying you're a 24-year-old girl. By the way, you're a 24-year-old woman. And your time isn't worth anything is a ridiculous statement considering you'd get paid $60 an hour if you don't babysit their kids. The husband sounds like a sexist dick. Plus, you told them you wouldn't babysit if they couldn't approach your rate. You probably should have just said no from the start, but you did inform them that it would be expensive. Don't worry about it too much. And here's the thing. Do you think just because I'm young, I shouldn't get paid what I do? I have the skill set. I get the work done. Some asshole at the very top who is older than you values my work at such a degree that they have, is it HR, labor? Who does payment? Well, fuck. No matter what, they value me at this hourly rate, and they pay me this. They could pay me more, right? The investors, the fucking stock market, the C-suite would get paid less, which is a good thing. But, bitch, I'm $40, $40 an hour. What do you do? What the fuck do you do? That's the question. What do you do for money? Right. You keep nutting your wife. You popped out 3 kids. What do you do? Are y'all both working? How much are y'all bringing home? I am so curious. I'm angry. I'm like quiet angry right now because all my neighbors are asleep. OP only comments one time on this particular post, and there is no update to my knowledge. Nope, there isn't. I had to make sure. Nerd bird is the word. Now let me stop. Dreads all over the place. And now I'm dizzy. Info all day for 3 days, like 24 hours times 3 times 35? No. OP replied, they be out during the days and evenings, but home to sleep at the house at night. And B Jeans 13 replies to OP, totally not the asshole. If they needed childcare, they should have arranged for it long before the days drew close, especially during the Christmas season. They totally banked on you desperately wanting cash and to be gifted with the delight of watching their little angels for 3 days. How very thoughtful and generous of them. Insert ample sarcasm in that sentence. They don't respect you and they don't appreciate that you are a working professional looking forward to time off. Nor do they care. You should have upped your price to your freelance amount when they balked at $35. And honestly, $35 an hour for 3 kids is not unreasonable. I remember babysitting my niece and my cousin. I don't think I got paid for that. Maybe I did. Maybe my mom did pay me a couple times. But, oh my God, I am so sleepy. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't give a fuck. What do I not give a fuck about? Oh my God. Now imagine if I was high. That would be so terrible. We're just going to move on to a different story. And hopefully reading that story gives me some energy. Right? And I can like be awake. I feel like I got something in my eyes. Crazy work. Ooh. I appreciate you guys for sticking around when my ass is in low energy mode. Very much. We're over in r/best of Reddit updates with a post by someone who is sharing OP's original post. Throwaway inheritance. My male 24 girlfriend, female 25 inheritance is changing her and making our relationship worse. Posting from Throwaway because I don't want my girlfriend to see I'm seeking advice if she ever checks out my main account. Your spelling and your grammar. I should fight you just for that. Ooh. My girlfriend's parents are divorced and her father passed away at the end of last year. She was his only child, so she inherited most of his assets, which was a lot. Because her father was a wealthy man, at least to my standards. The problem started after she took care of all the formalities regarding the inheritance. We moved in together, which made me happy because we've been together for 4 years already. At first, I thought that the apartment we moved in was the only one she inherited. Because we didn't speak much about her father's fortune, it turned out that it was just one of 5 apartments she inherited. I asked her why she would withhold this information from me, and she told me that she hasn't thought that this will be so important and she decided to either sell or rent the rest of the apartments. It made me feel kind of uneasy. If we are together for so long and we both decided to move in together, then shouldn't we both discuss and choose which apartments to move into? And she apologized though, so I left it at that. But it didn't end here. I later learned that she also inherited a house that she has sold without consulting me. She argued that she wanted to give the money to her mom so she could live comfortably. But I don't believe that anyone would sell a freaking house to give money to someone else. That's pure bullshit. Another thing that is making me confused is how she just doesn't want to share. Her father left a car and lots of electronics like a MacBook, and she just claimed it without even asking if I need a new laptop or something. I'm not expecting her to not use her inheritance, but we've been together for 4 years. She knows that I was thinking about buying a new laptop. It would be nice if she at least asked. I also thought that she would at least let me drive the new car, but she's just started to brag about how it's her first car, etc. She's not even driving it because she prefers to take a bus or a walk to most places. She also wants to split bills evenly, even though I know she has a lot of money now, and I'm pretty sure she wouldn't even need my share of payment. I asked her about it, and she actually got kind of mad at me this time. Told me that we are not married or anything, and that I shouldn't just expect her to give her whole inheritance to me. So, yeah, just usual over emotional women bullshit because that's not what I asked for at all. I told her that I just felt left out because she's deciding what to do with the apartments herself, and then she's just claiming the car and the MacBook while I'm here too. She just doesn't want to understand. She actually argued that this is exactly why she never told me about her father's wealth, as if I was some gold digger or something. How do I make her realize that her selfishness may break us apart? I feel like it's harder and harder for me to commit when I know that there are people out there who would be way more caring in a relationship than her. I was thinking about suggesting couples therapy because I love her and I don't want to break up. But she has to realize that she's not alone and I should be involved in the decisions she's making. First and foremost, y'all should appreciate how much I edited this on the fly as I spoke out loud because the spelling, the grammar, the word choices was atrocious. I was thinking about suggesting a couple therapy because I love her and don't want to break up. What's some other bullshit I read here? What's some other bullshit I had to like whoop 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 finesse on the fly? You know what? As I'm reading this kind of reads like ChatGPT a little bit because I'm seeing these dashes. Maybe this person just isn't from America. If you guys want to, you can pull this up. I gave you the title. My take on this though, I've got like one thought that is relevant, and then the rest is me just dragging the shit out of this entitled "weak loser bitch made motherfucker." When just like for the other story that we had, when money being brought in is not equal, payment on necessary bills should not be equal. They should be proportional percentage wise, right? Um, so that the partner who makes less is not strained, right? If you wanted 50-50 and I make 100K and you make 25K and I say, hey, well, let's go move into this apartment or this house that costs $2,000 a month. That means you're paying 1,000 and I'm paying 1,000. Right? That's 12,000 a year for me. What does that leave me with? 88K. You're paying 12,000. What does that leave you with? 13K. Not equal. Not equitable. 13K ain't shit. I made that as a kid. 88K is a lot, but also still not a lot in America, depending on where you live. Oh, my chest, my heart, my soul. All right, let's do some dragging. This entitled, self-important, narcissistic, womanizing, misogynistic piece of shit. He picks his victims well. Normally, I would be like, the dick must be fantastic. When people stay with those who come off to me as abusers, I think, wow, you must be getting like the longest. I'm trying to like censor myself because my mom watches this. Mom, stop listening. I love you. These people, I be thinking like, oh shit, you must have found the biggest dick or the wettest pussy. Like, this is insane. You're putting up with all this? They offer you nothing? They must be cracking your back in the bedroom like a chiropractor. Shit is insane. How? Because there's no way in fuck I'm getting with somebody who's like, wait, you didn't let me pick out the apartments that you own for us to move into? Wait, you sold a house that you own that you got from your daddy without telling me to take care of your mother? Wait. You're using your dad's old MacBook, the one he had from before he died, and you didn't think about giving it to me? Wait. You're just letting your vehicle sit outside instead of letting me drive it all the time? You're being conscious about your environmental impact, so you like to walk and bike and bus to work in most places? Bruh. I don't even think I'm doing a good job dragging this motherfucker, but he's so weird. I don't know how you can think like this. I can't grasp it. It doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. I don't know if it was a raised poorly kind of thing or if it's a real mental issue that's like in the fucking DSM 17 and they just don't have a name for it yet, you know? And that's a joke because we're on the DSM 5 right now. So we have another post. Remember, Best of Reddit updates is like a compilation of multiple posts and or updates all smashed together. So you won't see me reading any comments unless the person who posted this mashup has comments in their post. Right? It's a person posting another person's posts, but like all together. So if they don't have any comments that they pulled from the original post, then you don't get any comments until I'm at the very end. Otherwise, once I start reading comments, they're essentially spoilers to the whole story, especially the best comments that I like. So their next story is, would I be the asshole if I report my girlfriend's mother for tax evasion? This took place, or this post was posted a month after the first post. From what I understood, monetary gifts are considered income in certain cases, if the tax wasn't paid already by the one who gifted the money, for example. My girlfriend paid inheritance tax, but I don't think it's the same as income tax. I would need to consult a lawyer for this. I believe that the exact amount of the gift is way above the taxable threshold, as it was money from my girlfriend's father's house, which was a lot. I'm not sure, but I know my mother-in-law. She believes that I'm after my girlfriend's money and inheritance. I caught her telling my girlfriend that I'm not worthy, greedy, and a gold digger. She's projecting her own wrongdoings on me. Bullshit. It's important to me because my girlfriend is naive and she believes she did the right thing. I don't think she did. Motherfucker, so what are you going to do? Report her to the IRS? If she gets locked up for tax evasion and fraud, you are definitely not going to be in a relationship with her. Actually, why are you calling your girlfriend's mom mother-in-law? Y'all been together 4 years. just moved in together. You ain't proposed. That's not your mother-in-law. Well, you can call her mom to her face if you want to, 4 years together, but that's not your mother-in-law. Mother-in-law's not even doing a good job because she's not telling her daughter that she's with a dumbass. So the poster pulls some key comments from OP. OP commented under that post. We've been together for 4 years already. She agreed to come to this. They can't be from America. She agreed to come to couple therapy. There's no way. There's no way. Not even an S. I can understand no apostrophe, but not even S. Oh my Lord. She agreed to come to couples therapy because she changed completely after inheriting her father's fortune and became selfish. Selfish. Shellfish. She became shellfish. Oh my God. What's funny to me at 1 a.m. is not what's funny to you whenever you listen to this. Suffer. She will realize that I'm doing the right thing. I doubt that. My girlfriend pays the bigger portion of our bills. We moved into one of her father's apartments, and since she has way more money than me now, we agreed not so long ago that she would pay for it. She has some problems with being selfish with her inheritance. For example, how she kept in secret how much exactly her father has left her and how she sold most of it already. In most cases, men who earn more and have more assets have no problem with their women living comfortably. So why everyone wants me to feel bad? Oh, I was trying to edit on the fly and I forgot that I needed to do that. So why does everyone want me to feel bad? Ugh. We've been together for 4 years. She has more money now, way more. It's only natural that she pays more. You can't bully me into believing otherwise. So, in the previous post, he was acting like she should pay more. And here, he's saying that they came to an agreement not too long ago that she does pay more and that she is paying the bigger portion of the bills. So was the motherfucker lying back then, or this just reads odd? And for one, stop fucking pocket watching. You do not need to know the final dollar amount of all my assets or even how many apartments, buildings, cribs, cars I own. You just moved in. Ooh, excuse me. I am so sorry. My manners. So we got another post that is 3 months after this just whiny ass post. So my girlfriend gave me an ultimatum after my request to change our therapist due to them both ganging up on me during our sessions. We, as in me and my girlfriend, started couples therapy a few months ago. Our relationship went through a rough patch. We were both at fault and decided to work on it instead of calling it quits. I don't believe you at all from this terrible spelling and grammar. I could stab myself in the eyes right now. I swear. Our therapist is a very renowned one, so I had high hopes for this. The first few meetings went well, but then he started to be weirdly invested in our relationship. After those first few meetings, I think 2 or 3, I don't remember, he suggested that we both need separate therapy with different specialists to work on ourselves and not just focus on our relationship. I refused. As I see no reason to go to therapy myself, we went just for couple counseling. Damn it, your spelling. We just went for couples counseling anyway. But as I said, he grew overly interested, especially in my girlfriend's well-being, as he put it, and brought up individual therapy each time we went. I wanted to change our therapist, but my girlfriend was really against the idea, to the point of being mad at me for even suggesting it, which I also found weird. She eventually started individual therapy per his suggestion. It's been a month. She's going to see her therapist every week while we go to our therapist for couples counseling at least once a month. And I just want to say she changed. Not in a good way, actually. Ew. She started to be more nitpicky, argumentative, accusatory, even. Yeah, that's my girl. She would pick. How can you spell accusatory right and have all that right and have all these commas, but you can't fucking say couples counseling? You can't type that out. She would pick a fight over something, then bring it up in our session, have our therapist agree with her, and then they both gang up on me. The most recent example is from a week ago when I finally had enough. We had a mutual agreement about our living situation. We split bills unevenly, which means she pays for more since she has more money than me, anyways. It was never a problem for her before, but suddenly it is. And then our therapist is like, it's unfair, burdensome, etc. So I told my girlfriend that we either change our therapist or I don't want to go. To which she replies that either we go to this therapist or we break up. I think breaking up over my request is a huge overreaction, but she refuses to even have a normal discussion with me, saying things like eye for an eye, ultimatum for an ultimatum. I'm at a loss. Was my request really unreasonable? Is there even a way to salvage this? I need some help. Maybe maybe someone has any idea how to approach this without my girlfriend going into an ultimatum mode. I hate that I have to like finesse this on the fly. It feels like my brain is shaking sideways. Ugh. So we got to edit on their post. Edit. Since everyone is bringing up my past mistakes in previous posts, yes, I know I was wrong for this, but we were supposed to work this out in therapy. I thought we were on relationship advice subreddit, and this sub was well about the advice. Why is everyone choosing to ignore the issues I stated in this post? Because, motherfucker, you're weird. We see through your bullshit. It's just your girl hasn't. I said her parents and her daddy. There's another edit. Excuse me for being so morbid. Asking, here was a mistake. I will have fun reporting your private messages to me for harassment. Report them. I might slide in your DMs and call you a bitch too. The fuck? Ooh. Edit. Well, I don't know who did this or why, but someone not only found me on Facebook, but also went through my profile, I guess to find my girlfriend, and linked her to my Reddit. Yeah, not to this post, but my whole account and my previous posts. Do you feel better now? Are you going to sleep better? I hope you're proud of yourself for ruining our relationship and probably making me homeless. Good thing is I don't have to go to therapy anymore, since she's not going to pay for it anymore. Yo, you loser, weirdo, fuck. You should be happy that you don't have to pay for therapy to whatever small. Oh my God, bro. Did you? Yeah, she never paid for. You never paid for therapy. She paid for therapy. You made her go do this therapy thing, and then she paid for it, all of it. Oh my God, you're such a manipulative, trashy creature. We got some key comments the OP left underneath this particular post. But if she breaks up with me, I will become homeless. Since I'm not working currently and can't afford rent now, as I said, it's way more complicated. I can move back to my parents' place, but they're not rich, so I would probably need to drop out from uni to work full time until I save some money. My whole life will crumble, not just our relationship. Your relationship shouldn't exist. And I said it before and I say it again. People hit milestones and they change, right? You were able, and sometimes it's just a revealing of the personality. People hit the milestones, they don't change. They reveal who they are, right? Your partner's father died and they inherited all that money, that space, the vehicles, the houses, the apartments, and then you moved in. Technically, you took your relationship to the next level. And then you started showing your ass. It's insane. Here you are all over the place saying she should pay more. She's not paying enough. Blah 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 blah. Why aren't you giving me your stuff? I just wanna drive the vehicle your dead father used to drive. Let me drive that to work every day. Like what? What? I'm too tired for this, bruh. Top comment by Cthulhu. Wait, is that how you spell Cthulhu? Why is there an N there? With 11K upvotes, poor bastard never gained a single ounce of self-awareness. And Papa Bear 2 replied, well, that's because his girlfriend wouldn't share it with him. Oh, man. Let's see if these comments are just all dragging the fuck out of him. The Badger UK comments with 7.7K upvotes. Given that he thinks the world revolves around him, it is fitting that he is really so dense. The level of density you would have to have. Excuse me. To have the planet Earth rotate around you, it's crazy. And then Saucy Noodle Lover replies to that. Supermassive asshole? Question mark. And then Water Devil 19144 replies to that. Supermassive black hole. But Sidge, what a name, replies to that. Supermassive brown hole. Yo. Myron Dale comments, I need you all to stop posting my search history for porn. I think a black hole the size of a quarter or a ball, excuse me, is big enough to suck the entire planet into it. So, unfortunately, that's just how it goes. Science. My brain on science. My brain on science. My brain on science. My brain on science. Yeah. My brain on science. My brain on science. My brain on science. Yeah. My medicine has worn off. I am sleepy and thirsty, and there's something in my left eye. But I want to read all the stories for you. I want to read all the stories for you. Ladies, please run away from men who can think they can take all from you. I had an extra syllable or two in there that I didn't need to have in there. Men and women, though. Again, when you hit these milestones in your relationships, you get together, go on multiple dates, you progress, you move in, you progress, you get engaged, you progress, you get married, you progress, you have kids. You have to be wary of changes in your partners, right? This may be like anxiety or deep-rooted childhood issues that may crop up, and you think like, 10 did say to watch out. But if you can nip certain things in the bud, if your partners are receptive, if they will go to therapy and listen to the counselor, to the master degree holding, sometimes doctor, then you can be good. But you just have to be wary. You have to not only think about red flags, but think about yellow flags too. And then think about how they might all stack up over time. And then, hey, one of them gets compressed by a super massive brown hole and it becomes a red flag. Let me stop. But think about it. Think about it though. How many yellow flags does it take to equal a red flag? 2, 3, 5, 10? 20 sounds like too many. But just think on that. Yeah. We're over in r/best of Redditor updates with a saga. The saga of an entitled new neighbor who thinks she owns the entire apartment building. Now, you know how we get down with this over in Best of Redditor updates. The OP is not the OP. They simply share all the posts, all the updates, and whatever comments that they do grab that they choose that they like or don't grab. And I gotta read what we got. So, this is originally by mini_books_91. Their first post number 1, is our new neighbor thinks she owns the building. Originally posted March 30th. So let me begin this with, I'm on mobile, so sorry for the formatting. I appreciate the apology. I, 31 female, live in a block of 6 units, apartments for non-Australians. A month ago, the unit above mine went up for sale and sold fairly quickly, and the new owner moved in less than a week ago. This morning, I got up and went to take out the rubbish and found a note stuck to my door. I honestly thought it was a I'm new to the building kind of note, you know? I could not have been more wrong. It reads, "Dear tenant, I recently bought your building and I wish to introduce myself. My name is blah blah, and I think you will find me a fair landlord. However, I do have rules. 1, everyone is to be in their units by 9 p.m. If you're going to be out past this, I suggest you find accommodation elsewhere. 2, no pets allowed. If you have any, they must be relocated before I do an inspection, or I will call the ranger to remove them. This is the only warning. 3, I will conduct an inspection once a month, and you will be present to answer any questions or face eviction. 4, failure to pay rent on time will result in your eviction. 5, let me stop. I just wanted to do the you can't see me. If we follow all these rules, I'm sure we're going to get along. Sincerely, blah, blah." I'm not going to put their actual name, but we'll just go by blah, blah for now. What the fuck did I just read? Is OP's thoughts. Fun fact about my building, we all own our own units. Nobody actually owns the whole building. I won't lie, I got to number 2 and had a slight panic attack because I have cats and there's no way I was going to give them away. Before I remembered, we bought our unit just before Christmas. We rented it from a friend prior, and when she told me she was thinking about selling it, we bought it. So we didn't even have to move. So in some ways, I feel like we're still renting, but we actually own our unit. Now, I'm not great at confronting someone. I tend to shake a lot, but at the moment, I was quite angry. So I went upstairs and knocked on her door. You know that gut feeling you have? It was spot on. That door opened, and there stood a Karen. Her hair blonder than my own, her nails long and bright colored. She didn't look happy to see me there. I introduced myself and explained that I lived downstairs and that I wanted to talk to her about her note. She started to talk on top of me, explaining that her letter was basic rules and even a child could understand it. And if I didn't like her rules, I could hand in a letter to vacate. Wow. I would ask if people are really this up themselves, but I work in retail and could answer my own question. That's an Australian ass comment if I had never seen one. Up themselves? Is that y'all slang? They up their own ass? I told her that I actually owned my unit. She hadn't bought it or the rest of the building, but only her own unit, and that she couldn't enforce anything in her note. She didn't like that at all. She started yelling at me, saying that yes, she had indeed bought the whole building, and that failure to comply with her rules would mean I would be evicted. I was just starting to think maybe I was wrong when another neighbor opened his door. He came out and asked what the issues was about and could she stop screaming as he worked nights and was trying to sleep. I told him I was trying to explain that she hadn't bought the building and she just started yelling again. My neighbor told her to stop. And then the best thing I had heard that day, "Are you stupid?" Her jaw dropped as he explained how wrong she was and that he was, in fact, part of the strata committee, kind of like an HOA that oversees the building, and that she had no right to make rules for everyone. She gave us dirty looks before slamming the door. I thanked him, and he said in the entire time he lived there, he hadn't seen someone so entitled. Honestly, I couldn't imagine meeting somebody so fucking crazy that they gaslight me so much that I actually start to believe them. People like, I know a bunch of people who like gaslight and guilt trip and just unfortunately flat out lie, whether it's because they forgot or that they're being somewhat malicious, manipulative. All the M words that are synonyms, just insert them. But this like takes the fucking cake. Ooh, ooh. I don't even. My brain is fried. So we're gonna move on immediately to post number 2. It takes place April 2nd. My new neighbor thinks she can park anywhere. So I guess this is an update to my last post. I had a lot of people ask me to post if she did anything else. This is also currently happening, and my significant other is witnessing it and texting me as I'm at work. So if you missed my last post, I had a new neighbor move into the building, and she left notes on everyone's doors saying she had bought the building and gave us insane rules to follow. She has been quiet for the last few days, and I thought maybe that's it. Apparently, I was wrong. So each unit in our building is allocated one parking space. Somebody hit me with a sleep hammer. Just one. No, not just one hammer, just one parking space. I park in mine, and my significant other parks his car on the street on the other side of the building. Our parking lot had one visitor space. And it's a very small parking lot, 6 spots for residents and one visitor. That's not enough. The visitor spot is nearly always empty, and my neighbors have said my significant other could park his car there if he wanted, as we were the only unit with 2 cars, but he doesn't mind parking where he is. Yeah, he gets his steps in. This morning, my significant other woke up to yelling. Our kitchen window, and I got something in my other eye. Kill me. Somebody kill me, please. Oh, in my misery. Our kitchen window overlooks the parking lot, and he snuck a peek out the window and saw entitled neighbors standing next to our nice neighbor's car, and they were arguing loudly. She kept yelling that she had a second car and needed to park in a spot, and he had to move his car or else she would have it towed. He kept repeating that it was his parking spot, and she could either park in the visitor spot or on the street, and if she towed his car, he will report it stolen. Is that a threat? I'm confused. This is Australia, though. My significant other says she kept yelling she can park where she wants, and he headed to and he needed to move it or else. So my significant other decided to park his car in the empty spot in case she tried to park there while I'm at work. The last message he sent me, she has stormed upstairs in a huff and slammed her door. Update? I got home from work and she has parked her second car in the visitor spot, but she's parked it so badly, it's blocking the driveway in. Right now, I'm parked on the street, but too tired to deal with her. Update? Sorry I didn't update sooner. So like I said before, her car was basically blocking the driveway, and I had to park on the street. Anyways, when I got up for work the next day, it was still there. But when I came home, it had gone. I asked my significant other as he was home, and apparently a tow truck came and took it away. I'm still not sure which neighbor called the tow truck, but I have a suspicion that it's the one she was arguing with. So significant other says she has been quiet all day, only the odd footsteps. Listen, even if I'm in like a piece of shit mode, if I get my truck towed, I'm going to go crazy. Ooh, I'm gonna go insane. And also, don't fight me over my parking spots. Don't fight me over my parking spot. We have assigned parking spots. Don't fight me on this. Don't fight me on this. I will key your shit. Sugar in your tank. I'll put some fucking ketchup in your goddamn in your oil cap. I'll piss in your coolant. You turn on your AC, you'll turn on your heat. It will smell like musty balls. Post number 3. Entitled neighbor won't let anyone use the clothesline. Well, I'm back. As many as you predicted, her entitlement grew. Did I say this was April 5th? Yeah, this is a post from April 5th. In case anyone missed the update on my last post, her car was towed, but I don't know which neighbor did it. It's been raining all week, and as I don't have a dryer, I haven't been able to do any big items like sheets or towels. Only clothes, as I can hang them up outside. On Saturday, it was finally sunny, and I raced home from work, dragged my significant other out of bed so I could wash all the blankets and dry them in case it rained again. I managed to get through 5. Yes, 5 loads of sheets, blankets, and towels. And I hung them all outside on the line. We all shared. There are technically 2 different lines for us to use, and we have never had an issue before. I hung out my last load and went inside to chill. I went back about an hour later to get the first load off and found every single item I had hung out on the ground. Nothing had replaced it. All of it had been torn down, and my peg basket, along with my pegs, are gone. Most of what I hung out was still wet and now covered in dirt. The crash out. Oh, I want to crash out. Ugh. I got my significant other, and he helped me bring everything inside before I went upstairs and knocked on her door. When she answered, I asked if she had taken my washing off the line, and she smugly informed me that she had not given permission to use her line, and that next time I should be polite and ask, and she might let me. Bitch. Look, I'm going to level with you guys. I work in retail and deal with nightmare customers. I know how to be calm around these kinds of people, and I try to be polite about this whole thing with the letter and the car, but my bed is my safe space, and I wanted it clean, and she fucked with that just to be petty. I calmly told her that everyone can use the line. It's part of the building, and nobody has to ask for permission. She tried to talk over me, but I just held my hand up and told her I was a part of the strata committee. I know all the rules and who owns what, and she needs to pull her head out of her ass, grow up, and stop her behavior because it's not doing her any favors. I told her to have a nice day before she slammed the door. Why is my light off? Bruh, what's going on? Did it die? I did give it a little battery. That kind of sucks. New light. Who this? Oh, man. Remember, boys and girls, do not stare directly into lights as you turn them on. You might go blind. But then you'll at least get a chance to suffer alongside with me as you try to grasp how to put contacts in your eyes. Remember to comment help. Help. Don't comment the word help. Just comment help on how to help me put my damn contacts in. Post number 4 from April 10th. Entitled neighbor throws a party. I was really hoping my neighbor would settle down, but here we are, though. The story has a satisfying ending, I think. This just happened last night, and I'm still a bit tired, so I'm sorry for any spelling mistakes. Girl, you and me both. Our neighbor had been quiet for a while, and my significant other and I thought maybe she had finally realized she couldn't control the whole building. One of her cars was parked in her spot, and the other was parked on the street behind my significant other's car. Nobody's watching. I've been ripped off the line. No new notes were stuck to doors. Until yesterday. As we are the bottom unit, aka apartment, we have a side door that opens out onto the shared yard. I think the only time I use that door is to air out the place or use it as a shortcut to hang washing. Sorry. Anyway, yesterday, girl, what are you apologizing for? This is just good backstory. This is good information. You're setting this up. You're teeing this up. Anyway, yesterday, we were going about our day when we saw Entitled Neighbor and a few other people setting, girl, watch you, Entitled Neighbor, call her Karen. When we saw Karen and a few other people setting up tables and chairs in the yard. No big deal. It's a shared space. A few minutes later, there's a knock on the side door and it's her. Significant other opened the door. It's a glass door, so she could see us. We couldn't pretend we weren't there. And significant other did the usual greetings. She told us she was having a party and we needed to move our wooden planters off our patio because she needed the space for her barbecue. No. Firstly, the patio is our space, not share space. And secondly, they sit right next to the glass door. So I don't want someone random looking into my living room all night while they're cooking. The significant other reminded her she doesn't own the building. And we wouldn't be moving shit. When one of her friends asked what the fuck she was doing, they had already set up the barbecue in the yard. She huffed and walked off without saying anything else, and we thought that was it. But we were wrong. It was not. A few hours go by, and we ended up closing the curtains for privacy. Whoever designed this building didn't really keep privacy in mind for detail, but anyways. We can hear talking, laughing, cooking, the usual sounds of a backyard party when there's another knock on the door. I was cooking dinner, so my significant other answered again. This time, it was one of her friends saying she had to use the bathroom, and Karen told her to just knock on our door instead of walking upstairs. Significant other politely told her sorry, but she couldn't use ours, and she apologized for knocking and intruding. Not even 2 minutes later, there's banging on the door, and by now, my significant other is pissed. He opened the door, and Entitled Neighbor started to lay into him about how dare he expect her guests to go all the way upstairs and that he needed to apologize to her and keep the door open for her guests. Now, my significant other is usually a calm guy, very easy to talk to and rational, but in that moment, he lost his shit. He told her to fuck off and stop bothering us, to get her head out of her ass, and she can't lay claim to everything she sees. Our bathroom wasn't hers to use. Her guests could use the bathroom, specifically the one in your apartment. And if she knocked on our door again, he would call the police for harassment. At this point, One of her friends came over and told entitled neighbor she needed to leave us alone and stop bugging us before apologizing and telling us to have a good night. We expected the party to be loud and go on all night, but it actually wrapped up pretty early, about 1 a.m., I think. This morning, when I got up, everything had been cleaned up from the yard, but our planters had been knocked over. Joke's on her because we hadn't planted anything in them yet, and most of the soil in there was used cat litter. I use potting mix as cat litter because it's cheaper. So now she can smell my old cat turds. Yeah. Oh my God. The person who originally posted this, I think they hit a character limit because they had to make two parts. Two parts. Two parts. That's how you know I'm dying. It's 1:33 a.m. and I don't know what I'm talking about. Post number 5 for month number 5. Post number 5 happened May 1st. Yeah. She really wanted to pet my cat. That's the title. Well, I'm back. Back again. OP's back. Tell a friend. Let me stop. I thought maybe my neighbor had settled down and I was done with her behavior. I do hear her fighting with the upstairs neighbor now and then, but that's about it. This happened this afternoon. I'm still trying to figure out how her brain works. So in my previous post, I explained how my new neighbor thinks she owes me we're skipping that. That's irrelevant. So as I am on the ground floor, I have a glass sliding door that opens into the shared yard. Don't make me skip this. Girl, I don't need all this backstory. Not happy about this being, not private, but we mainly treat it like a window anyways. Being that it was a nice cool day and I had the doors open, but the screen door shut and locked so I could air out the house after it having rained and the house smelling musty. Whenever that door is open, my cats will sit at it and watch all the birds outside. I was pretty tired, so my significant other suggested we both lay down and have a nap while I wait for the washing machine to finish. Sure, why not? And it's a quiet day, and we wouldn't lay down. We were woken up about an hour later to a rattling noise in the lounge room, and I thought maybe one of the cats had tried to climb the screen door again. So I got up to scold them and found my entitled neighbor trying to open my screen door, like really pulling on it to the point the whole door was shaking. This bitch would have got shot. But it's Australia. I would have chucked a spider at that bitch. I asked her what she was doing, and she told me she had seen my cats through the door while on her way to hang clothes out and wanted to pet them, but the door was stuck. I told her it wasn't stuck. It was locked because this is a private residence, and she can't walk in here whenever she pleased. She kept trying to open the door while yelling that I can't keep my cats from people if they want to pet them, and it's her right to show them real love. I am mentally drained here. I repeated that this was my home and she couldn't walk in whenever she wanted. This really seemed to piss her off, and she started yelling at me that I was a little bitch and abusing my animals, and how dare I speak to her like that. At this point, I was pretty sick of being yelled at from my own home, so I just mustered up the sweetest smile I could have before politely telling her to fuck off. If looks could kill, my cats would be eating my body right now. She tried to open the door again when my significant other came out and said he would call the police if she didn't stop. She finally let go of the door, glared at us, and stormed off. Needless to say, we are ordering another camera for that door now. And yes, my cats are microchipped. Edit to add. Thought I might add this, as it's been in a few comments. My phone was charging in the bedroom and I didn't take it out with me when I got up. Where I live, the police aren't very helpful unless it's actually happening in the moment. But I didn't want to to turn my cat to turn my back on crazy. My significant other only got out of bed when he heard shouting because he thought I was talking to the cats. And we have a pet tax. Pet tax. Pet tax. Pet tax. Look at those cats. Fat cats. Pet tax. We got cats. Yeah. I am fucking delirious. So delirious. I don't know what I'm doing with my body. Ooh. Post number 6 from June. It's been too quiet. Wait, should I have gave my comment on this wild ass story? No, I did. But they're in Australia, so they can't shoot through the door. If it was Texas, it's been too quiet. So if you're new to the story, here's a brief recap, and we're skipping that. Anyways, it's been quiet for a few weeks. I normally hear her arguing with another neighbor all the time, but lately, nothing. Last week, I bought a new car. Yay! And it's slightly bigger than my old car, so I'm not confident enough to park it in my spot, so I've been parking on the street. The other day, I got home from work and I saw a young man standing on our balcony. He was quite friendly, called out hello to me and introduced himself as her nephew and explained why he was there. Oh, you're here to get the tea. You've been waiting for this. She broke her foot. Apparently, at the last family dinner, she tripped over a dog and broke her foot and is now staying with family because she can't get up and down the stairs. He said he was house sitting because she didn't trust her neighbors, but he admitted we're all really nice and quiet, and maybe she is just crazy. It took all my strength not to sing and dance right there. Girl, I'll do it for you, but I probably fucking fall out. Post number 7. Lucky number 7. Taking place on June 15th. Entitled neighbor is back and wants me to isolate elsewhere. Well, she's back. Was hoping she just wouldn't come back after she broke her foot. But last week, we heard a door slam from upstairs. We looked outside and, yep, our car is there. No idea if her nephew, who was house sitting, is there or not still. Doesn't matter. Anyways, a few days ago, I tested positive for the much whispered pathogen, COVID. And have been doing the right thing and staying inside and dying quietly. I'm fully vaccinated, so it's not that bad, though I could live without the headaches. My partner was away all day Saturday because he was picking up his new car, and he got home late Saturday afternoon, parking his new car on the back lawn so he can give it a quick hose down from the drive. I was inside watching through the sliding door when I heard her balcony door open, and she started yelling at him to get off her lawn. Bitch, this ain't Monster House. He told her to shove it. It's not her lawn, and he is done when he is done. And can she please stop yelling? Because I have COVID, and it doesn't help the migraines. Well, that was a mistake. I heard her storming down the stairs, and she starts banging on our door, screaming that I'm diseased and need to isolate somewhere else before she gets sick. And if I don't leave, she was going to call the police. I told her, though through the door, that she has been told repeatedly that she can't kick us out of our own place that we own. I am staying inside and that she could call the police if she wanted, but she would more than likely be fined herself from wasting their time. According to my significant other who was coming in after moving his car, she looked downright murderous, But once she saw him, she took off up the stairs. Moving fast for someone with a broken foot. Man, bitch. Haven't heard anything about her. Haven't heard anything from her or anything from the police. So I think it was an empty threat. I was just so tempted to open the door because, like they say, sharing is caring. Oh, you petty. Edit's ad. Just wanted to add because I had a few comments on it. We can't get her evicted from her own home as she owns it like we ours. Or we own ours. Also, lawyers in Australia are very expensive just to talk to. Like when we bought our unit, the lawyers handling the sale charged us for everything. They stuffed up the paperwork by misspelling my name, and then charged us more to reissue papers with the correct name. As far as I know, my upstairs neighbor spoke to his lawyer about her, but they can't do much anyways. Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. Post number 8. Whoop, whoop. October 6th. Entitled neighbor strikes again. I'm back. Did you miss me? Girl, I've been reading your story this entire time. I don't miss you because you've been here with me in spirit. I won't lie. I was hoping I would never have to post again and she would become a normal neighbor. I was wrong. So she was so quiet for so long and her car was barely there. I was starting to think maybe she had moved out, but I got a nice reminder last week that she's still around. To start the story, I must give a brief background. There are 8 units in total in this building. I am on the ground floor, and the very nice old lady across the hallway and I have an unspoken rule that if one of us is home and the other isn't, we will sign for and accept packages so they aren't just left in the hallways. I've been expecting the package and had a feeling it was going to show up while I was at work, but I wasn't worried because of my nice old neighbor. And she would drop it off when I got home. No drama, right? Wrong. I'm sorry for that. My nice old neighbor had actually gone away for a few days, so nobody around. Ooh, fuck. That's terrible. I see where this is going. So, with nobody around, my package was left next to my front door, but it wasn't there when I got home. Oh, yes. Yes, dear reader. Or I should say, dear viewer/listener, she had it. About 10 minutes after I got home, I heard the familiar stomping on the stairs and the banging on my door. Long story short, my package had been delivered and she wanted to do the nice thing and hold on to it until I came home, but apparently it had accidentally ripped. And she saw what was inside. I won't lie. It was sex toys. I like to treat myself, sue me. But the moment I opened the door, she threw my package at me, yelling how I was a disgusting pervert and I should move out before it spreads. No dick getting ass bitch. I told her that package, I need to go to sleep. I told her that opening someone else's mail is a crime. It's not a crime to buy those kinds of things, but thanks for taking care of my package. I would say get a Ring doorbell camera, but we don't support Amazon. They're pro AI tracking everyone's movements. No. I want to hit you guys with a sad reality. These stories were ongoing, but unfucking fortunately, OP deleted their account. So even though the person who posted this, the best Reddit updates, was able to grab these 8 stories, and they had this flared as ongoing, and of course their instinct was probably right. The thought process was that more stories would be posted because this bitch ain't leaving. She just bought the spot. They're not leaving because they also just bought the spot. We can't get any more updates. It's so sad. So sad. There's nothing to be done, unfortunately. And I went looking. I can't find anything else. So this is where our story unfortunately ends. And I don't have much to add, especially because I only have 43 seconds left for this recording. So, beautiful, wonderful, intelligent people, and you, idiotic, need to be educated. Wait, is that how it goes? Fuck it. Thank you for listening to the podcast today. I'm about to go crawl in my bed and go into a coma. Shout out to you for sticking around for, God, this many hours. Bye. Oh, wait. Subscribe to the Patreon.